Welcome back into Leagues Cup version of Cincinnati Soccer Talk. We are in tournament mode, so anything goes here tonight as we break down a 60-minute thriller versus Chivas. Then we will take about a day's break and then resume our podcast with more thrilling soccer talk. CST is a fan-supported show, so thanks for listening and supporting us. We've not asked this for a long time, so I think it's fair to do so now. If you can do us a big favor, head out to Apple Podcasts or whatever other app that will let you leave a review and leave us one. It will help other soccer fans find us, and we greatly appreciate it. And I think old Subs will smile somewhere knowing I've asked you to leave a review like he used to do back in the day. Speaking of reviews, my co-hosts are currently going through podcast performance reviews, so no one better miss a beat tonight. First up, let's welcome in Brian Weigel. How you doing, sir?
Well, I managed to unmute myself, which is better than pressing play on the intro video. So we're doing good, buddy. Glad you could be dressed for the occasion, too. Did you just get back from work in that shirt?
That's what happens, when you have to work. Unfortunately, podcasting is not supporting.
All I got to say is today is a holiday. It's happy I'm not a Columbus Crew fan holiday.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, tell you what. Tough day to be a Crew fan.
The next 2 days are going to be big for Crew fans as they lose basically their version of Luciano Acosta and Zella Ryan. So
don't tarnish Lucho Acosta's name by linking that guy to Lucho. What kind of fella are you?
But they have 2 days to replace this guy, and that is a big piece of their team. We'll dive into that a little bit later. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the league, so it's going to be important to talk about. Josh, welcome into the show. How you been?
I've been well. Thank you very much for having me back. I'm glad I could finally actually come through this time, and a lot of things going on this side of the pond / Mississippi River, however you want to divide it. Little Miami, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, got some things. Got a little four-legged friend running around these parts now, so taking up a lot of my time. But she's a big Cincinnati fan now because she sits down and is intrigued by the soccer kicking. So I'll take it.
Did you get a puppy?
Got a puppy.
Wow.
Got a sweet little puppy running around now. So
I think we have to institute a new rule that anytime anybody on this show says these parts, you got to drink.
Well, you looked at your life and you said, how can I make this more chaotic, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah. Listen, nobody will take our money to buy a house, so we could get a pup. We could get a house, then a puppy. So we're like, all right, screw it. We'll get the puppy, and then we'll get the house.
Okay. I'm going to check back in with you in a few months, and I actually kind of want to bump into you while you're in the chaos stage, and then I think you'll be in the I love this animal no matter what stage. But usually there's a twinge of regret somewhere in there.
Unless it's a cat and then we throw it outside.
All right, Justin.
Yeah, I'm just in soccer heaven right now. Leagues Cup is in full swing every night. Well, pretty much every night. We've had some games, some compelling matchups, some not so compelling matchups. I'm looking at you, New York Red Bulls, but we are full tilt right now, and we're getting to the round of 32. So I am in heaven right now. I love watching all this soccer action.
I don't know about you, but I did not anticipate soccer like all week long like we used to have it back in the day. It's kind of cool, huh?
It is. And with all the leagues overseas kind of getting ready to be back in full tilt right now, it's like you're kind of getting back into rhythm, back into the season of just soccer mania every single night of the week.
Yep. Well, you know who else is there for you? Night or day, Apollo Home, for their heating and cooling services, are always standing by. Did you know they have an in-house excavation department to help you with your underground water line and sewer repairs? If you are having issues with anything of the sorts, give them a call. It's a free visit for one of their specialists to get on site to your home and provide a written estimate. You can visit them at apollohome.com to schedule. Let's get into your best and worst team. I know it's a wild, wacky week, and it's going to be hard for you to find your worst, I think. But let's see, Brian.
Yeah, man. I think I said this pretty much last week too. It's mentality. 2 weeks in a row where the guys have to come across some adversity, getting against a very tough Chivas team, having to basically stop the game and come back right away. Of course, the second day, seconds in, we give up a goal, and you have to dig down and figure out a way to beat a team that's kind of rested and attacking at you. So I was pretty happy with how the guys stepped up and addressed things. Individually, Brandon Vazquez, I mean, he got called up 10 minutes before the game because Sergio Santos went out with some sort of injury, and he went out and did a damn hat trick. So that was just awesome to see for Brandon. So I think Mentality and Brandon are got to be my best of the week. Worst of the week, I don't know if I have one. I'm just pretty happy right now. I mean, maybe injuries cropping up here and there, but other than that, man, just keep going, FCC.
What about that throw-in goal for Chivas?
Didn't matter. So I mean, that was a hell of. I mean, I was telling my wife about it. I'm like, you've never seen like an inch perfect throw in and precise like back header. I mean, you can't be mad about it. You're just like, ugh. Oh, okay. My worst of the week is Twitter X. So yeah.
Fair enough. I'll allow it. Josh, best and worst.
Yeah, my best, piggybacking off of Brian a little bit, but more specifically just on the Brandon Vazquez part. I've just been so impressed with the way that he's come back from the national team and never lost confidence. You know, he dealt through so much last year with the rumors and then the struggle to break into the national team. And after the year that he had and missing out on the World Cup was tough. Then you had this year coming in, dealing with all the more transfer rumors and getting off to a slow start. But he never looked like a guy that lost his shot. You know, shooters shoot, as they say. And he's a guy that always looking to make a play and looking to take a shot. And it's finally starting to fall in for him. And I'm glad he has this tournament to kind of find his legs again. And you can starting to see the benefits of playing off of a guy like Bupenza. And so, you know, banging in a hat trick against Chivas, his childhood club, like that's got to be huge for him. So I'm so excited to see what he's going to bring the rest of the way. And, you know, if he goes out in the blaze of glory, firing in goals for FC Cincinnati, and then they sell him in the winter, it'll be awesome. That'll be the best case scenario, I think, for him. So.
Now that Brandon's scoring, what should we start the countdown for complaining about Bupenza talk? Because it's been, you know, like 2 games since he scored.
Already? Yeah, he's already fallen off the record pace, and you know,
what a waste of $8 million.
It's just, you know, some guys aren't built for this league. They just aren't. I don't know. My worst, you know, I was going back and forth. I didn't really think of anything off the top of my head. It was just great. You know, we are staring down the couple of days with the transfer deadline coming up, and you're starting to feel the pinchness of this roster construction and how limited some of the extra resources are. You kind of hope, you wish you had an extra center back. You wish you had another striker in there, because you're razor thin at depth in a lot of places. So, you know, right now I'd say the worst is this is probably the team that's going to have to carry you the rest of the way. And so you just hope that everyone stays healthy, because things can get squirrely real quick with an injury or two. So
hell, having a team with 2.2 points per game average. Hell having that squad.
Yeah, it's helpful. It's helpful.
Yeah, I think I saw Dom Baji was back training today, though. So you got a little bit more help up front. You know, FC Cincinnati needed some more firepower. You know, we're just weak up there.
I don't know what Josh is talking about. I mean, we got right wing back Yuya Kubo coming out there, baby. So let's go.
Just put another, like, listen.
Give him another position.
Give it right. Can we give him the gloves for one game just to see it?
He's the Spencer Steer of FC Cincinnati. Let's throw him a goalkeeper next. Let's do it. He can do it. Imagine that if he's like the League's Cup, like random goalkeeper. It's like for like, oh yeah, sorry, Yuya.
Speaking of League's Cup goalkeepers, didn't somebody have their goalie take a PK the other day?
They did.
Yeah,
that would have had it been. Was it Leon versus Vancouver?
It was one of the Mexican Liga MX teams.
16-15.
And I doubled over, but then they said it's normal. So I was like, all right, well, that's cool.
Bang went in for the goalkeepers union.
That was his 3rd PK goal of the season, I think, and they've only played like 3 games. So,
wow,
plus
all right.
League's Cup.
I mean, if the best PK taker on your team is a goalie, then why not? And who are we missing? Who are we missing?
Justin.
Here? Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Hey
That's
guys.
the worst.
He's unforgettable.
I think the best for me is having Obina and Nwobodo and having Matt Miazga and having Mascara back there defending, anchoring down. I mean, apart from that wonderful throw-in goal at the restart of the match, we felt a lot more sure of ourselves, and that was nice to see because we saw some scary moments in that Nashville game, and then obviously Sporting Kansas City, it was just chaos. So it was nice to be able to watch a match where we kind of felt like we did at the beginning of the year, where we are a lockdown defensive team. Now there were moments, sure, but it was nice for me to see. Worse, I'm gonna go with the Liga MX fans selling off this tournament. You're already hearing it on Twitter. You're hearing it in person. It's a nothing cup. Nobody cares. We're trying to play our youth right now, and what a lazy excuse. Because I mean, we're in the middle. We're winding down the season. If there's any league that needs probably to take some of these matches off and get some depth in there, it's probably MLS. So I think that's such a lazy, poor sportsmanship because the results aren't going their way.
But when you're embarrassed, I mean, you're going to naturally
Yeah.
make excuses. So we do the same thing when CONCACAF Champions League and we lose to a Costa Rican club. So
If we got knocked out of Leagues Cup, I did have like five excuses ready to go in my in my save draft.
It's not just Liga MX. It's St. Louis FC.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
we're looking
their
at
coach is doing it.
Oh, dude, it's hilarious. Like, yo, we need breaks. You don't want a 28-day break between games, guys. That's dumb. Like, that's going to derail you guys. You're going to lose match fitness. So, and I think some of these teams are getting figured out. Like some Liga MX teams are getting figured out. Some MLS teams are getting figured out. I mean, it's kind of awesome to see like how certain styles don't transition to upper level games, like some of the St. Louis overpressing. When you can play a team that has 5 or 6 technically gifted guys, they're going to pick you apart if you give them all that open space. So it's pretty interesting to see, and I love some of what I call the losers mentality coming out of some of these teams, especially St. Louis FC. It's kind of sad in my opinion.
Yeah,
but yeah, I agree with you, Justin. I think it's a good shout.
I don't know if my wallet's appreciating our Leagues Cup advance because I'm already looking at playoff tickets and now renewing season tickets, League Cup tickets. Oh man, it's getting crazy around here.
Hey, add some child care payments on top of that, buddy, and then come calling.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I can't go on 6 vacations this year.
Did you say child support?
No, child care. My wife loves me.
All right, Kevin Engelhardt on YouTube said his best is Vazquez hat trick. Worst, Santos being made of glass.
Great shout, Kevin.
Rupesh, best. Brandon, worst, unrealistic FCC fans complaining about an empty stadium Friday.
I don't think we were complaining about an empty stadium. I think we were complaining that we couldn't be in the stadium, but we'll get there soon, Rupesh.
Jay Yates, the atmosphere. The best is the atmosphere with Chivas fans was amazing. Hats off to them. Worst, literally raining on our fun and postponing the finish. And then Kevin, of course, best pancake hat trick. I'm sensing a theme with these bests. And worst, a restart with 0 fans. In parentheses, I understand why, making it feel like the pandemic again. Hey, there's a shout. Empty stadiums. Please don't remind us though. It's awful. Oh man, my best is Leagues Cup being better than I expected. You know, I am on the record arguing with Brian Weigel about how U.S. Open Cup is the best and Leagues Cup is going to be the worst thing that ever happened to Major League Soccer. And I'm enjoying it. I really am. I'm enjoying soccer every night. I'm enjoying watching other teams. I'm enjoying watching teams I never get to watch and seeing, I don't know, diversity in the stadiums. There's a lot of cool things about it.
Say it, Boston.
I can't.
You were right, Brian. You were right, Brian.
Well, let's see how far we make it.
Did you see? So Andrew Wiebe posted he called himself the High Priest of Leagues Cup. I want to be like the High Monk or something, Crown Prince of Leagues Cup, because I'm just saying, you can go back in the records from months ago. This is it. It's the future.
I think most MLS fans, like I said, I don't know about Liga MX, but most MLS fans probably were just like dipping their toes in the water, like not understanding, well, what is this tournament gonna break up the season? Some teams probably looked at it as a lifeline, like Inter Miami, consequence-free introduction of Messi, get right into it. But I think most of us fans were like, especially like FC Cincinnati, top of the table, semifinal, Open Cup. What is this Leagues Cup that we're about to embark on? And it has been fun, man. I mean, yeah, yes, it helps that we're winning as FC Cincinnati supporters, but it has been fun top to bottom. I mean, the competition is pretty dire. You're seeing some of the teams that we thought may be slipping a little bit in MLS play, all of a sudden are sending back up, and we're looking at a hell of a tournament, and it's going to be a great finish for this little summer transfer window. Get some players in, get them ready.
Yeah. My worst to just put a damper on what was an awesome night was that rain delay. I was in the stadium and I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait it out. 1 hour goes by, 2 hour goes by. Now I had awesome company. I was talking to people that support Cincinnati Soccer Talk. I was talking to fans that I've known for years, and I was kind of bouncing around the stadium a little bit. That part was awesome and fun. But guys, I just wanted to be that one arrogant fan on Twitter that's like, I waited 3.5 hours. The game restarted. Where are all of you? And FC Cincinnati told me to go home. So turns out everybody that left right when the rain started were the geniuses, and I was the one that went home at 1:30 a.m. and then had to get up for work at 6 a.m. the next day. So worst for me. Joke's on me on that one.
But that's third straight match too that we've had weather delay. So
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, Nashville at the beginning of before kickoff, it was on a 30-minute delay, and then obviously Sporting Kansas City, we went into delay. Right? What was it before half that happened? It was right after their red card, I believe, and then we had this match where coming out of half, it just completely ended, shut down our momentum. Crazy, man. Weather in Cincinnati is crazy.
Let's dive into it in a moment. First, you can always tweet at us at Cincinnati Soccer Talk or X at us, I guess. Email us at feedback@cincinnati-soccertalk.com. I think we love getting emails from you guys, and it's been a while. It's been a while since someone's wrote in and said, hey, answer my questions. Talk about this on the next show. And we'd love to dive into that. We're going to throw it real quick to our awesome sponsor, Beyond Exercise, and then we will jump into the Leagues Cup game.
Beyond Exercise is a locally owned physical therapy and fitness facility that helps people prevent and rehab from injuries, improve fitness and athleticism, and recover from strains of daily life. In fact, they've worked with a couple of your FCC starting 11 over the past 3 off seasons. Check out their website to see who these players are and to see the range of services they provide to keep you pain-free and moving well at GoBeyondExercise.com.
All right, Subs, we appreciate that. Brandon Vazquez, you may have forgotten about him. He's kind of been a little bit silent this season, but for some reason, tournaments, United States men's national team, whenever the normal season lights go off and something else lights turn on, he's back and he's ready to fight. It took him a whopping 2 minutes to score a absolute beautiful goal.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. There you go. What are you guys thinking? 2 minutes into this game? You already going, it's in the bag. Screw Chivas.
I'm still pouring my first drink. Like I'm sitting there like, holy cow, like I got the kids to bed. I'm sitting down to watch FC Cincinnati and bam, goal right away. And I didn't even think it would be, I thought maybe we could get something from a Bipinza run over the top, but I didn't think that we'd be able to get something like that from Brandon. To be able to squeeze it around 3 defenders. That was just incredible. I'm sure that place was going bananas.
I mean, it was a display from Brandon that we haven't seen too often. I mean, you see his movement in the box. Obviously, his link up with Lucho and Barrial coming from crosses in, as you could, little teaser into the rest of his goals. But to see that kind of skill, that display from outside the box like that, again, goes back to my point of like he is playing with so much confidence right now that he has the to take that shot and to know like, yeah, that doesn't matter if it's going in or not. I'm putting this on frame, and the technical ability that we haven't seen from him in a while is so refreshing to see.
We've seen a lot more of Brandon from the first 90 seconds of the second day where he misses that sitter. So it was nice to see him at least get 3. Could have had 4 more this week. I want to see him put more goals in. I mean, the guy's had 14 goals, and that includes Leagues Cup, U.S. Open Cup, U.S., and MLS. The guy needs confidence, but I think that what it really comes down to, guys, and I'm sure Coach will talk about on Talking Tactics, but it's how many times this year have you seen Dom Badji and Sergio Santos run right in the exact same space that Brandon Vazquez is trying to run into? You didn't have that with Boupendza checking back, varying his runs, pulling guys away from Brandon, similar to what Brenner used to do. And it gave just that extra inch of space for Brandon to do things. And I think that's very valuable. And I know we're joking that Boupendza didn't score in 2 Leagues Cup matches, but he's creating other opportunities that Brandon's going to be able to capitalize on. And that's what we love to see, 2 great strikers giving multiple options and keeping the back line of Chivas guessing. Other opponents guessing, but at this point, yeah.
Good points, guys. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Justin. The Vazquez tap in, we got one of those too, but the Vazquez tap in, to see him shoot a skillful shot like that was good to see. It's like, oh yeah, he can still do more than just the little dinks and dunks and good runs off the line. Like he has that athletic skill to be able to whack. I hope that gives him confidence, because that was a gorgeous shot. Everybody was talking about it. It's been making the rounds.
I like this Kevin guy. You too.
Yeah.
Boupendza is definitely a big reason why Brandon is seeing success. Love it. What'd you guys think of Boupendza, that relationship, Boupendza, Lucho, and Brandon?
I thought that one time Lucho undercut his run. Do you remember that, where he was right in front of frame and Lucho was just following the play into the box,
yes,
and it was right in front of him, and you just look at him and he's just smiling, man. He's enjoying himself. So it's funny to see they're learning each other. They're starting to get a little bit comfortable with each other, and there's no, I need to prove something. Coming into this team, it's like, man, this is a live bunch, and we're going to see a lot more goals from these 3. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think we brought it up in our our Slack channel. I've been so impressed with his energy that he's bringing. He's finding himself in great spots. Obviously, there's going to be some moments like Lucho stepping in front of probably would have been a surefire goal from Boupendza. I mean, he was 6 yards from frame, and just you want your striker there, and he was, and which goes back to Boupendza finds himself in the right spots already. And you, like Brian, you hit it. Like, he's eating up that space, and he's pulling defenders away, and he's opening gaps for Vazquez to sit in and to check his runs a little bit more. I've noticed that a little bit. His 2 goals, the other 2 goals, Vazquez was, you see those runs in, and he's taking defenders and he's pulling back while Boupendza keeps the runs going. So he's finding those balls a little bit closer to the center, not so much at the near post. And I think that threat that Boupendza can bring is going to let Brandon operate in a more central spot than him trying to eat up that space himself. So I've just been so impressed with what he's brought, and not to mention like I said, the energy, the passion. Like, you can see it every time. He's having a blast out there, which is what you want, because if he's having that much fun with Lucho now, just give him another couple of weeks, because they're going to have a ball.
The real question I have for Boston is, Who's got the better hair game, Marco Angulo or Aaron Bupensa?
But Bupensa shocked me this week with the dye. I wasn't expecting Dennis Rodman out there, but that's what we got. I give it to Angulo personally.
Oh shoot, that was hilarious.
You got a 54% possession. I think it was actually 50-50 for most of the game. Which I tell you what is awesome about scoring early is it takes these teams out of their game plan. I think anytime you're not in your home stadium, you were tending to play a little bit more defensive. You're tending to play back. I'm not sure what Chivas' style is because this is the first time I've seen them play all year, but they were forced, no matter what their
Press
style
the
was gonna
hell
be.
out of you. If you couldn't tell it by their head coach.
Yeah, but whatever their style was going to be, it had to change, right? Because Cincinnati scores and then they score again. I mean, you're down 2 goals. You have to go full offensive.
Yeah, but they were also pushing at us really, really hard. And I think the fact that our center backs were capable on the ball, and including Nicky Hags, man. And you had Angulo being able to step up and help relieve a little bit of pressure. His growth every game is validating that U22 spot. I love it. But honestly, I highlighted that we were able to hold on possession and pick our chances and pull them out of shape. Yes, they had 10 men later on in the game, but this is something we've seen FC Cincinnati struggle to do throughout the course of matches is pull guys out of shape and find those right channels. And I think our personnel are getting better at identifying ways to do so. Of course, when you have a little rest for Lucho and Brandon, you can do it in the second 30, or the last 30, whatever it was. But I just thought it was some telling that we weren't just hoofing the ball and turning the ball over under pressure. And we were able to kind of, one of you two said earlier that their best was Obi. Obi's regaining his fitness that he lost earlier in the year. He was just always he was playing at 90%, and now he's getting back to that 100%. And I think we're seeing FCC starting to unlock ourselves a little bit more. You saw it in the second half versus Sporting, and now you're seeing it versus Chivas.
He's the ultimate pressure valve.
Relief valve.
Yeah,
Yes.
relief valve. Yeah. We just depend so much on him in the midfield to be able to get the ball off of the back line and to play the ball back comfortably. We've seen so many times first touches be pretty poor with the likes of when we had Kubo playing that position a lot, when we had Medunyan in that position. Sometimes you just Junior, don't sleep on Junior either, but Junior doesn't have that range to be able to quickly get out of that situation, right? And Obi always finds himself, it's like he's got a radar around him, and he's always finding himself in a better position to be able to easily distribute the ball back. I think we harped a little bit on him at the beginning of the year on his back play versus going forward with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's valuable going forward, but he's very valuable at protecting possession. And today, or Thursday and Friday, was just another example of that.
Yeah, SKC sold me. I mean, if you didn't have Obi stock in your portfolio before that SKC game, he made all the difference in that comeback. And I think it just Obi on the field is just, it doesn't matter. Costa's great, Vazquez is great, but they're not in the midfield. They're not that deep in the midfield, and Obi's the one that's gonna help you out and put a lot of pressure off that defense.
You got Barry White low there, Boston. Just keep talking about it, babe. Come on, keep talking about Obi. Let's go. I can't do it. I'm too high of octave. I'm catching him off guard tonight. I love it.
No, you really are. Moving on. Does Liga MX seem to struggle a little bit in this tournament? We talked about it on the last episode with just some preliminary results, but we're getting a lot more data now. The big clubs, the big spending clubs are still in it, and they're still doing fine. Your Tigres, your Leon, but the middle of the range, the Chivas, the bottom of the table, not so much. Is it being away? Is it because Liga MX clubs can't defend? What's going on?
Salary cap. Okay. I mean, there's I mean, you see it in all leagues all around the world. There's just a high benchmark for the teams, and obviously there's a lot of parity in that league as well. Like, have Leon performed well in uh, the Champions League, I guess is what it was called this year. So, but then you have like Monterrey as a surefire team. You got teams that are really good, but I think at the bottom you get about halfway down, and it's just a drop off. Whereas in the MLS, we're pretty used to, having 3 or 4 teams change over in the playoffs pretty consistently every single year. So I think that we have just ascended ourselves to the top of Liga MX. The bottom half can't keep up, and then even, touching into the top 6 for Liga MX, they're having a hard time putting teams away.
I've just been shocked with some of the score lines, like 5-0, 4-0, I think, against some Liga MX teams. I made a joke, do they play defense in Liga MX? But in all honesty, I think it's just a little bit different style. And that's kind of refreshing to see, is how sometimes they just want to go balls to the walls and go for it, and they're caught off guard. They're susceptible. But also, I think you're seeing in Major League Soccer that the offensive talent in this league is very capable. It's the defense as well. We're also susceptible. I mean, you got Nicky Hagelin, and I love the guy, but let's be honest, he's probably not starting for most Liga MX teams. But some of our offensive guys are very, very talented, and that is shocking. Now, I want to see what happens in the knockout stages. If we're in the Final Four and it's 3 Liga MX clubs today, or in the Final Four, I mean, I do want to message send to our owners to keep investing, but so far I think we've done pretty well. Somebody said something like where Liga MX, and this might be warped to the 2-point win, knockout things, but I think they've won like 40% of matches, so that's a lot higher than a traditional road win for MLS teams.
Yeah, if you go by knockouts, Rupesh pointed this out as well, and just now in our chat. Liga MX only has 4 clubs eliminated so far, so. We'll get a little bit more data.
And you have some big MLS teams eliminated.
There's 29 MLS teams to 18?
Yeah, there's definitely less. There's definitely less.
And I think, we joked about it earlier about, this CCL reason, like, the seasons are flipped. You got Liga MX teams in mid-season form in CCL, and MLS teams are early preseason, and how much that goes into the fitness and everything like that. Liga MX teams have only played 3 games in their season. I think you have to at least factor that in a little bit. MLS teams have had a little bit of break, and then most of them are starting to gear back up. I mean, they're playing full squads. I think it goes into it a little bit of it. I have been a little bit surprised about how top heavy. You knew Liga MX were top heavy. You knew the names there, but I don't think I realized it was this top heavy. But to your point, Brian, like we'll come to see what happens in the knockouts, because if the Final Four is all Liga MX teams, then we know there's a long way to go still. But I'm encouraged by MLS's display so far.
The League's Cup only confirmed one thing to me so far: Toronto sucks.
No doubt.
You're not wrong.
No doubt.
They're wrong.
They're crashing and burning. We all hate to see it, right?
Just out of curiosity, I can't remember. Who are we waiting on? Somebody plays tonight that decides
geez.
whether we get Nashville or not.
You're gonna kill me right now, bud. Yeah, right now. So you have Colorado playing.
Is it Colorado? That's what I was thinking.
Colorado and Toluca are playing tonight at.
So Colorado and Toluca are playing in the if somehow Colorado wins, then you have 3 teams on 3 points, and you have a lot of tiebreakers to figure that out. But I think realistically, we play the second place team of that group, and right now I would throw my money on us hosting Nashville Friday night.
I am totally fine with that. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to play someone like Toluca, but Nashville, to beat them 3 times, knock them out of a tournament. I could hear the whining from the Music City already.
We're guaranteed not to play Colorado. It's either Nashville or Toluca, and it depends on how Colorado wins. If Colorado wins, but if they win 1-0 or if they win 5, somebody broke it down in our tweet earlier this week or X or whatever, and like they have to like go 5-4, 6-5. It's like beyond like the typical score lines. So 1-0 is really the only chance we're not playing Nashville. But yeah, I'm with you. I would love to see Cincinnati defeat Nashville yet again. Second time in 2 weeks now. TQL Stadium.
Not going to be bummed if that's the result. Really, I think almost everything we can get from that group is pretty cool. So I opted in. Anyone opt out? Everybody roll the dice. Yeah, Leagues Cup is interesting. I actually didn't know if we'd make it through, so I just left it as is. But yeah, I got my 30% off tickets today. Not too bad. I think I saw some $12, $8, $16 tickets being thrown around on the old X.com. And
You spent how much for your seats? You have
mine were like 40 something.
okay. I was just gonna say your club seats guy, man. It's like wow.
Yeah, but that's not bad for those, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. Now we unfortunately I'm going somewhere. My kids don't know yet, but all 6 of my tickets are filled. So hey, if
You can
can't use
tell
them,
us.
fill 'em.
Little Bry is not going to watch Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Soccer tomorrow.
something about Mickey Mouse. We'll see.
Cool. Yeah, they'll probably enjoy that more than Nashville.
Nashville for the third time. Come on.
I just love it right now. I
Good
logged in
busy
for my
time in
SeatGeek.
May.
I logged into my SeatGeek and it says tickets will be available in time for this event. It's like what? I don't have tickets. Come on.
Well, Nathan on YouTube saying they should invite CPL teams next year. Nathan,
I agree.
I think we would run them over. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought CPL was more like USL level.
USL League One, maybe. They're pretty bad, but it would be awesome to see them at least get a seat in like a Champions Cup or Champions Cup. That would be nice.
If you want CPL, why don't you just invite USL too? Come on, get out here. They're not real.
I give them a spot.
Are you guys saying create a U.S. Open?
That's dumb. I was just gonna say we're talking about U.S. Open Cup again, and literally, guys, you have USL tryhards online right now trying to validate any form of keeping the U.S. Open Cup. So there's 2 weeks ago they were like, oh, this is a meaningless tournament. Now they're like, oh crap, this is something pretty neat. It's they're like, oh, we got to keep MLS teams in U.S. Open Cup for it to matter. Hey, guess what?
I mean,
Doesn't
what
matter
they
anymore,
say.
guys. Doesn't matter.
Can you go and do it on a cold Ottawa night?
Cold Ottawa night. I'd say a Tuesday night in Richmond. We'll call it.
I'm going with the Atletico Ottawa.
I get where Nathan's coming from, though. If you make it continental, it's kind of cool. We just need some CPL to get a little better as well.
Yeah.
Get up to that Toronto FC level.
I think they're there.
Speaking of CPL,
Vancouver, not so much, but Toronto, I think they've surpassed them.
Oh, jeez. It's kind of funny making fun of Toronto just because they spend so much money. They're like FC Cincinnati 2 years ago.
Does Emery Welshman still play for like York FC or whatever?
Who's that?
Emery Welshman, the former FC Cincinnati player.
I don't think.
I'm gonna come across that I'm gonna come across this table right now.
I didn't
my
hear
camera.
what you said. I didn't.
Emery Welshman, homie, come on.
I got that.
Our striker when we had no striker.
Oh.
Oh my God!
Remember that one time I got really, really drunk and started to tweet, and then he plays for Sigma FC in the Canadian Premier League. Ha ha!
Top form.
Let's go.
Top of the table.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyone want to talk about red cards anymore? I mean, it seems like that's a topic every single week on this show. But Chivas did get another red card.
Rain delays and red cards. Keep them coming.
Well, well deserved, right? Clear dog so, and then we can move on.
I don't. I mean, I think it was a good red card, but to go back and VAR that is just kind of like, because as it was brought up on the broadcast, you had the runner running in. But yes, by the literal definition, he was the last defender, pulled him down to the ground. That's a red card. I get that. I don't think it was like, I don't know. It didn't feel like I mean, obviously the Sporting Kansas City one. I mean, clear, obvious, no problem at all. But that one was kind of like, hey, I
I
don't
didn't know
think
you were a
that
Chivas
really
fan.
big time. Go way back.
I will say this: it is kind of cool to see us go toe to toe with some of these historic clubs, and now it appears that we might be linked up with Club America, who is now losing to Columbus Crew. That would put them in our round of 16 match should we advance versus Nashville. So that would be interesting. I would love that. I would really would. Except I would be in Orlando.
All right, keep the live updates coming because I can't fully pay attention to it. I've missed this the last couple episodes, so I want to make sure I get it done. I want to say thank you to all the fans that support Cincinnati Soccer Talk and donate or help us in other ways. But CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com/support or over on our Patreon page. Big shout out to Red Lee, John Davidson, Mike Hudson, Laurel Failer, Matthew Adamczyk, Riley Stephen Burke, James Denbrough, Tom Newhouse, Brian Weigel, Brian Gills, Dan Albers, Will Kychek, Ian Rexroad, Carl Fight, Christina Sharma, Kyle Pohl, Rupesh, who's watching live, Jason Beversdorf, Jason, who is super average, Tom Beversdorf, John Haskell, Ryan Ernst, Mary Lou, Wes Anastasi, Rob Pierce, Clifford Adams, Thomas Stepps, Pierce Johnson, Mike Parentis, David Wiederhold, Rob Gassell, Brad Weigel, Kevin Day, Paul Hedger, Alex Carnegie, Dave Tingler, Patrick Lahani, Mike Bowman, Brett Sova, Kevin Cooney, Joe Max, Jack Emery, Sarah Gorman, David Moore, Bob Ryan, Ryan Durkin, Bart Levita, Rob Triple, Joe Lohr, Bill Leopold, Maureen De More, Jose, David Myers, John Cafardi, Olympico, Joseph of Hanger 937, Jackson Fight, Justin Blair, Kyle Phillips, Ashley Newhouse, Dan Burns, Coach Clip, Justin Gregory, Scott Dalton, Jason Ashcraft, George Jeffrey Tebbets, Troll, Jackson Fight, Matt Bauer, and Pete Koch. Thank you all for supporting Cincinnati Soccer Talk and local fan media. We really do appreciate it. All right, guys, what's going on? What's ahead in Leagues Cup? We play the second place team from C4. We kind of just talked about this. Probably Nashville, could be Toluca. Nashville's currently in second with 2 games played. Colorado in third. Hosts Toluca in like an hour? So that's probably what we're going to go do right after this show.
Sure.
Live update: Toluca, Colorado delayed.
Oh,
I did see that. Yeah.
2 hours after this show. Hey, they're just giving me time to edit. That's all.
Yeah, that's better for us. We get more time to prep.
But after this, group stages are over. We go knockouts. Round of 32. Then what? Round of 16?
Yep. Round 16.
Wow.
So it kind of goes from group winners in the round of 32 to then MLS teams host Liga MX teams, or you have the highest, it goes to 2022 Supporter Shield. So that's where it significantly matters where if we would play Columbus or other teams down the road. I mean, in theory, we should host through the semis or to the semi round, but I really want to see us play Club America. So
no, absolutely
take down the 2 biggest clubs in Mexico. Come on.
So if you play Liga MX team, do you always host? Is that how it works?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, unless you're Charlotte and you have to go play in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Justin, we're on the same page, bud.
I thought it was Dallas.
Well,
I love how they have the 2 Liga MX teams playing each other. I forget who they were. It was like Juarez and I forget the other.
Yeah,
guy.
it was in the Philadelphia group. They had Pumas, something like that.
Yeah, but they're playing in DC. That's brutal. Like they couldn't geographically move that further south,
Yeah, so there is a funny thing where if you're whatever region you're in, you have like 2 or 3 stadiums that you can pick basically where you want to play, depending on availability.
Trash. They should have just moved to LAFC. They don't need their stadium. Or LA Galaxy. Sorry, spoke out of turn there.
So someone said today that LA could theoretically host over us because of their standings. You said like fourth in line, but I'm seeing like third or second as of right now.
What are you talking about?
FC Cincinnati's hosting priority.
We 2022 standings, so
Yeah,
technically
so we
whatever
were, like,
9th or 12th
11th.
or whatever 11th.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what it's by?
I just said it, Boston.
Oh, I didn't listen.
I know you didn't. You don't even read the rundown.
We were 6th in the East, right?
It's
Am I correct?
irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's all about Supporter Shield standings.
Yeah,
So
I
like
get
we're
that.
we're 1 point behind Nashville, so it'd actually be nice that we play them this round versus something later.
Okay.
Gotcha. But it doesn't apply to round 32. Okay. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
just-
so confused.
16 on in, not 32. 32 is group stage winners.
Very sad.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
You're
This is
welcome,
why
baby.
this is why we have this segment. It's not for the fans. It's really just for me.
You're gonna be so lost the next 2 weeks, pal.
I really am.
Have Brad on.
So to have a semifinal, I think this was your point. We have to somehow play somebody who is beneath us.
Yes, so we're rooting for all the
Or-
poor teams from last year.
Or Liga MX.
Go Chicago.
Or my wallet gets a break and we play somewhere else.
Go Miami. Can you imagine that? Like doing like twice in like a span of a week and a half. That'd be
That would be the
Yeah.
final, yeah. That would be 2 games.
I don't know if I want to
4
play
days.
Miami in
Are they
every
opposite
tournament.
us in the bracket?
Yeah,
Are
they're
they?
opposite.
Oh, that sucks.
That would be 2 straight finals, or well, final and semifinal, but that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no.
They'd have to give us
Miami.
one, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
You can't rig Messi to win both of them, right?
Miami Leagues Cup final, semifinal US Open Cups, and then we meet in the playoffs.
and we get to let Columbus reschedule their Hell is Real match.
I'll tell you what, this is kind of BS that you have Monterrey, Tigres, Chivas, and Club America all on one half the bracket.
I know, right? Like
That's
what?
that's
the-
crap. That's supremely crap.
Crap for who?
We have the
For-
4 best teams on
Yeah.
our side of the table,
but they also could start knocking themselves out.
I mean,
It's
you're
not
gonna have to have
necessarily a bad
Monterrey
thing.
and Tigres go
we
through.
will
Yeah,
get to
but
play one of them.
yeah, we will definitely get to play one of them.
Yeah, but yeah,
not two.
you got Philadelphia over there, just gonna be in a nice little cruise control mode.
Cruise
all the
is
way to
over
the
there, I think.
semifinal.
All right. Somebody from Cincinnati Soccer Talk tweeted out a rumor today
Oh, me.
that Barrial is getting traded and spooked everybody.
Traded, huh? You're MLB guy. Yeah. Trade deadline this week.
Sold? I don't know. What's yeah, what's going on? Is he leaving?
Well, hopefully not. That would really be a Columbus Crew-esque thing to do. He was linked to Monza in Serie A. I think that's what it was. He's been linked with them since early July. Of course, I think European deadlines somewhere in either late August, September, but they're saying Monza and then Ajax could potentially be in on him. And there's been some links with agents and drumming up things, but let's be real. We're very aware that people want Alvaro Barreal. He's a great player. He's generating chances and he's performing. So unless some freak happens, let's be very happy. We're going to see him the next 3 to 4 months. And then after then, wish him well.
Yeah, I think it's too late this year. I think we can table a summer transfer, right?
It would have to be
Yeah, it's too
for
late.
some serious cash. But that's the nice thing with having two owners worth $2.5 billion each. Yeah, what's pocket change to these guys?
Yeah, I think you would have to take a
10,
I
12.
believe the rumors of a Zelarayan like insane offer that you just can't turn down, but he'll finish out the season, and again, another one of those guys that you hope goes out with some silverware and we can bid him adieu and root for him the rest of his career because he's going to be on to bigger and better things. Ajax would be awesome. I think that's probably a little bold. That sounds like a little agent speak to be that
Okay,
lofty, but
I
who
mean,
knows? I don't know.
Ajax is Eredivisie. These guys are mid-table Serie A. Monza. I mean,
Yeah, but Ajax is not. Ajax
I
is
know.
Eredivisie.
I
but
know.
They're a top 5 team in Serie A. Like,
They don't buy
But-
anyone either.
yeah, they're a factory of churning out ridiculous amount of talent. But it's great to hear him and to see all the stuff that he had to go through with switching positions and dealing with all the Stom era things, like to see him turn it on and to buy completely into his new position and then just completely elevate his career to a level that I'm excited to see. I'll be curious to see his next team if he sticks at wingback. You know, does the next team say like, oh, look at all the tape he has at wingback and how elite he's been, even though he's been a winger most of his career until as of 18 months. So it'll be, other people have mentioned it, but like I could see myself getting a Barreal jersey from somewhere in Europe because it's been special to watch.
Spurs. I can see you buying a Spurs jersey. Let's do it.
God.
I'll tell you what, the amount of people that will drop season ticket holders just because they can't see Barrial's thighs anymore.
It is the real travesty. It's what
So-
you're gonna
the
lose.
biggest problem.
You're gonna lose some money on that.
My neighbor saw Alvaro Barreal and Lucho Costa tonight at Kings Island, and Barreal had dad cargo shorts on to like the bottom of his knee, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Just complete role reversal.
Got to keep it conservative at the Kings. He doesn't want a flock of people
It's a
following him.
child. It's a child-friendly
Yeah.
environment at Kings
Yeah.
Island. So
He's just doing the politically correct thing there. Doesn't need that attention. Doesn't need that riz on him.
Columbus is up 3-1, by the way.
Let's see how they are in a couple weeks when they don't have Zelarayan on their team anymore, guys. Did you hear about this?
Julian Gressel making his impact.
So
Jeez.
they've actually changed a lot, and they're going to be a whole different team when FC Cincinnati runs into them after the Leagues Cup break.
Yeah, significantly.
You got Julian Gressel being added, right? You got a new center back. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name.
Cherbecco.
Yeah. Traded with Montreal.
Nacho Macho Man.
Yeah, that's a
Rudy
weak move.
Camacho.
That's a weak move, but whatever.
I thought Boston froze there for a second. He's trying to figure out. There's vowels in there, Boston.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Julian Gressel is something you have to take note of, but I mean,
Yeah.
losing Lucas Zelarayan is just like, I mean, obviously tonight against subpar Club America
Best
team.
team.
Uh,
Best team in Mexico. Sure.
well, they're not trying.
Henry
So.
Martin played in the 60th minute.
They're not trying.
Jonathan
Yeah.
Dos Santos played in the 74th.
But yeah, I mean, Julian Gressel definitely raises some eyebrows and helps you out a little bit in the midfield there, where you're not having to worry a little bit of just a gaping hole that Lucas is going to leave on that club. I mean, they've lost a lot of pieces over the last few years. I mean, Cucho Hernandez is an amazing pickup for him, but if anybody can do it, Wilfred Nancy can. I just don't understand some of these other moves. It seems like Montreal was kind of unloading or offloading Rudy Camacho. I don't understand that move at all, but we'll see. Gotta trust Wilfred Nancy, huh?
No, we're going to kick his butt.
Oh yeah, we're kicking his butt.
There you
but
go.
I'm just saying that Columbus is like, he's a great coach, and I have no doubt that he's going to be able to figure it out.
One thing we're all fully aware of in Cincinnati is that changing your team really is hard to get players to settle in and play with each other. So you lose Zelarayan, you throw they have 2 days to bring in somebody and shore things up, and maybe they get that done. But I mean, you look at the stability of someone like FC Cincinnati, and that's hard to beat. My personal opinion. You can plug and play all you want, but I think Wilfred Nancy's setting up for next year, not this year.
Stability. That's hilarious. Cincinnati and stability. He's a good coach. We'll see what happens. They're gonna change it up, but I mean, really, Julian Gressel on the wing back. You still have semi-decent defenders. I just, unless they bring somebody else in, I think they're a bunker and counter style club till they can get another creative player.
Columbus fans don't think they have any defenders.
They kind of don't. Gus Vasia, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with the Camacho and their new Ukrainian player.
Yeah, plug and play there. But I'm interested to see what is better than a Zelarayan. I don't think there is a replacement.
But Lucas wasn't. I mean, I don't want to go because we're kind of pushing out here, but he was what, the 5th, 6th best 10 in the league. Great on free kicks, but he's getting stifled in the attack. I mean, in all honesty, if you're getting $15 million for him, I'd take it. I really would.
I disagree with that. I disagree wholeheartedly with that. I mean,
Then disagree and give me facts.
Well, you got Leo Messi just came in the league. I get that, but
Yeah, so
I mean,
keep going.
we got
Lucho,
Lucho Acosta, and
Leo,
Carlos Hill, and that's it.
Hanny, Carlos Hill.
How are you gonna put Hanny? Like literally is a glorified forward. He's not a 10. He's not a real 10. I don't understand that. Like he's not a creator distributor like Lucas was.
Hey, Lucas is great on free kicks, bud. Everything else,
was great.
Come on.
What? Look at what he had with Chelsea Jardis. Look what he's had with
Chelsea
last year
Jardis.
with. I know it's not really been razzle dazzle, but they had a good connection with Cucho Hernandez when last season. It really became a story, and they obviously had a really bad coach that screwed that up. But you were talking about most impactful players on teams. He's right there in the top 5. So it's a shocking move. I don't think there's probably, other than Lucho Acosta, probably isn't a player that's more valuable to his team than Zelarayan. That's my 2 cents.
Hanny Mukhtar.
Hanny Mukhtar,
Leo Messi.
Oh, come on now. You got 2 games.
Oh, shoot. What's this?
Vazquez is the best player on the team.
What the hell is that?
That's Josh and me just eating popcorn while we're waiting on you guys to finish up there.
What are your all's thoughts? Do you think that there's been better 10s? Other than Acosta.
It surprised me that he was 31. That's. I was like, oh wait, Zelarayan's 31. He's pretty good for 31. Have fun, get your paycheck, and then that's what he's got. A couple more years left. Like, all right, I'll take Lucho for the next 5 years. He'll make everyone forget about Zelarayan existing in the same state if he already hasn't.
Spinning it around, I think we are definitely in the sweet spot. We've got a guy who already went overseas and tried that and came back and decided that this is what he wants to do. So Lucho really is the answer.
I don't know if Lucho decided that's not what he wanted to do.
He seems perfectly
DC
content being
United
here.
decided that that's not something that Lucho wanted to do, and oops, somebody unplugged the fax machine.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He probably didn't get his fair shake because when he did finally leave leave MLS, he came roaring back. Not to DC though. No.
I was just more laughing that you almost said the MLS. You got yourself.
Yeah. What a rookie.
Brian's not going to be back on the show for 2 weeks. He's on suspension.
All right. Let's get into our final thoughts. It's been a fun Leagues Cup thus far. Let's see what Brian's got for us.
Oh, I got nothing. Go U.S. women. I really do hope that they can kind of figure this out. I don't want a negative storyline out of this great group of players. I just hope they can kind of turn it on here, figure out what's going on versus talking about one sub for 5 days. I'm so sick of that storyline. So I'm really hoping they can turn around this week and start to make a run in the World Cup.
I really need them to win too because I told your brother he was crazy and they would make it out of the group stage.
I'm kind of leaning towards Brad's take there, but it stinks that there isn't. The vibe isn't as strong this go around. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they play on the other side of the world, but versus Canada where they were last time. But yeah, I really want them to turn on.
It's all because Rose Lavelle wore that Xavier shirt.
Perfection.
All right, final thoughts, Josh.
You know, I was one of those who was incredibly skeptical of Leagues Cup coming in. I didn't think it fell at the worst possible time for FC Cincinnati going in their best year in MLS existence. But I'm old enough now to admit when I'm wrong. This tournament has been incredible. The chaos, especially. If this is a tournament of chaos for its entire existence, it'll be my favorite tournament every year. So, more chaos, please. More chaos.
Columbus is up 4-1 now. If you want some
Chaos.
Absolutely dominating Club America. All right, Justin.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention the Messi is going to be playing on TBD. Messi will be doing an interview. That will be the headline news. Now, Messi mania is in full effect. Survive the storm. Be safe out there. Follow your club.
We got our first complaint in a while, guys. They said we talked too much Messi last week. So
can only imagine it's gonna be better this year with all the Columbus and Nashville talk.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah. Hold on. We won't talk Messi every week, I promise. We definitely will talk about Messi less than all of your national pundits. Every website, by the way, if you guys notice this, every website is pink that talks soccer. We are not pink. We're still orange and blue. So stay tuned. Check us out, by the way. We've got cool articles coming out this week. We've got podcasts dropping. I heard a rumor that Coach is going on vacation or he's going somewhere and he can't do it. And Michael Lahoud and who is it? Justin Hoyt are taking over his show, just the two of them. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. It'll be pretty fun. You guys are making fun of me because Justin Hoyt's always on that show. Right?
I was going to say.
That's all right. It's all right. We will. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate all of you following along live and listening in the car your next day. And see you next week.